It's one thing for us to speak about what we're hearing from organizations such as Gift of the Givers and the municipality. What have you found there as far as the flow of water is concerned?
Well, thank you very much, Tembekile. Indeed, we are here in Makhanda trying to examine really the impact of the withdrawal of the Gift of the Givers from this city. We know the contribution that they have made in terms of restoring water supply for the people of this area here. And now they've left now under a cloud of a controversy due to what they refer to as a non-payment of the money that is owed to them for the services that they provide. They're talking about 10 to 15 million rand, that the money that they are owed by the municipality here for the services that they've provided. Indeed, we know for a fact that they have actually drilled boreholes here. We've been told that there are about 15 boreholes that they have drilled in this city of Makhanda, and some of them are working. Well, I've just visited now some areas in the township where people are in fact benefiting from that kind of work, but the dispute lingers on, and then people are worried about the withdrawal and the extent to which that could actually affect the water supply that they are beginning to get now. I have a pleasure now of being joined here by the municipal manager of the municipality here, Mr. Mopomene, who's going to tell us more about really how this came about and how are they solving this. So thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to talk to you. Tell us about this relationship that you had as the municipality with the Gift of the Givers. Was there a commitment that you made as the municipality to the Gift of the Givers that they must come and drill boreholes and then you're going to pay them for that?
Thank you very much, Mateba. I must mention that when we had the situation, that is the crisis, in terms of the water provision, particularly in the eastern side of Makhanda, we had our water treatment works, which is known James Kleinans, which had a very high level of siltation. As a result of that, we had then to close that particular provision to our community. As a result of that, we then had to cut water to communities. Now, the Office of the Speaker of Makhanda then invited the Gift of the Givers to come in and support. As a result of that, because they are doing that particular work, humanitarian work throughout the world, they then came in to support us and provided us with basic water, like making sure that they've got bottled water, they are cutting water and so on to our community.
I'm sorry, I just have to cut Jason to this. Did you make a promise to them that they must drill boreholes and you're going to pay them for that service?
No, we never made any promise. We never said we'll pay them for the service. The information we got from them was that they are going to drill boreholes, and as a result of that, they are going to make sure that water is then available for the community of Makhanda.
So there was no commitment from you that you're going to pay them?
There was no commitment for that from our side to pay them, yes.
But the department now says there's 22 million rand that has been given to you as the municipality here. Some of that money, the Gift of the Givers are expecting them to be paid from that money.
Yes, it is correct. There is money of about 22 million that was provided by the Department of Water and Sanitation. 10 million was for the water conservation demand management, and 12 million was meant for underground water study.
But not to pay the Gift of the Givers?
Not to pay the Gift of the Givers, but to do an investigation on the underground water study.
Can you explain this thing that now there are local companies that are now going to benefit from this money, and yet they have not done any work with regards to the drilling of the boreholes and so on? How does that happen?
Absolutely, there's no company that is benefiting anything out of the 12 million. What has occurred is that the department, DWS, made the allocation in October last year. Because of the rescheduling that was occurring between the DWS and Treasury, that particular amount of money had to be scheduled to Schedule 6 so that it comes straight to the municipality. Then it delayed. As a result of that situation, we then had a situation whereby the municipality was then affected by the situation of the siltage at James Kleinans. As a result of that, at the time we appointed a consultant that was to undertake a process of assessment of the underground water for us.
All right. Just because of time constraints, unfortunately, we have to leave it here. But you made your point that there's no relationship or commitment that we have made to the gift of the givers to pay them. So we thank you very much for that. We'll continue this discussion a little bit later on. That's the situation right now at this point here in Makhanda, that the municipality says there's no money that's going to go to the gift of the givers. They came here out of their own volition to do the work. They took their own risk, and that's where it ends. Back to you, Temekile.
Tammy Dixon in Makhanda, the former grandstand for us this afternoon. Well, this morning, we'll continue to touch base with Tammy throughout the day.